Welcome to the Culture Law Podcast. This is Cliff. Today we're going to talk about Alex Baldwin. It's Alec Baldwin? Oh, sorry. Anyways, let's get it rolling.
Baldwin's attorney saying that they look forward to their date in court. But again, the breaking news now, actor Alec Baldwin once again now criminally charged. As part of this lengthy investigation, authorities had determined that there was this culture of unsafe practices on the set of that movie, with past reports of accidental discharges.
I know you're probably busy, but it would really help the video if you could click the like button below. It's similar to the case of a slip and fall. What happens in a slip and fall case is you have this water spot, Target, Walmart, Fred Meyer, whatever, that they've got this and they're cleaning up this slip and fall. But it's too late because already somebody's on the ground here and they are in bad shape. You know, they slip and fell, that kind of thing. Well, the question is, well, did they put out some kind of a thing here that says, warning? I don't know what that would say. Caution. If they knew we're having issues with the armor, we're having issues with guns going off, there's other discharges, you knew all of these issues were happening, and does that make him more responsible? This person have intent once again. Let's say that there's, two people here, they see this, and they tell this guy before the fact, there's a spill here, and then another group of people come by. Each time this happens and somebody says there's a spill here and this guy doesn't clean it up, then the question is, does he now have a notice? Did he acquiesce to this spill, leaving it there? It was his movie. I think he was not just the actor, the director. It was kind of his deal.
Of ammunition and a so-called dummy round. We know that there was a live round of ammunition in there. Ultimately, did multiple tests on the weapon. The central question there was, could this gun go off if Alec Baldwin did not pull the trigger? What the FBI determined through their testing is that gun could not have fired unless someone actually pulled the trigger.
Going back to my example here, if he doesn't know about it, like there's a spill, somebody falls, spills happen. But if he's on notice, and this is the fourth thing that happens, 1, 2, 3, 4, now all of a sudden, this guy might be in liable.
After those initial charges came out, we heard from numerous legal experts who were quite stunned, actually, saying that, we can understand charging someone who, was responsible for a live round being in that gun. But there's just been this question about an actor, someone who was told on set, allegedly by one of the prop masters, that this weapon was, quote, cold.
Going back to this example, let's say this person was on roller skates. Let's say this person had a blindfold on. They were just flying through this. And then the question is, well, are you contributoryly negligent? It's not just this person's fault. It is this person's fault as well. And that can offset. So you could say, well, no, this person's 50% and this person's 50% in a lot of places. And so for Alec's position, it's like, well, this person's the real issue. Well, criminal doesn't work with that kind of understanding. The prosecutors could say, yeah, you're not as much at fault as them, but you're still at fault. You might not get as much of a punishment as the other, but that's not the threshold. The threshold is just, are you guilty or are you not guilty? And that's it. There's no percentages that they're looking at.
That the actor had been criminally charged. Those charges were then dropped. Prosecutors at the time said that that was because new evidence came to light in the case, causing questions about a piece of evidence. A law enforcement source at the time told me that that was because they learned that the weapon that was used in the shooting had been modified in some form.
Is there a modified gun situation?
It's worth pointing out that actor Alec Baldwin all along has indicated that he did not pull the trigger on that weapon.
I guess that they're saying, well, this is an old gun and that there was some kind of a malfunction. Maybe that was the original problem. If there was a malfunction where the gun would just went off because it was in his hand, if that were the case, I would think that that would be a situation where he wouldn't be responsible.
In New Mexico, a legislator in New Mexico who was also working on the case, the Baldwin team cried foul. They're saying, look, this probably smacks of politics. And so bottom line, a new special prosecution team was brought in. That's the team that ultimately presented this to the grand jury.
There's nothing really probably special about it other than it's an outside prosecutor. They found that they need new charges, and the grand jury found that there was enough evidence to proceed to an actual trial.
Clearly, someone is responsible for the death of Miss Hutchins. We know that people should not be killed in the making of a movie. Not only have the investigators or prosecutors been able to determine how live bullets or live ammunition ended up in the gun. They don't even know how live ammunition ended up on the set.
Willful disregard is what she's saying that the standard is. It's not just simply did he do it or not. There's going to be an analysis here that they're going to have to apply. Part of that is, was there live ammunition on the set and how did it get there? Was it the responsibility of Alec Baldwin? Was it the responsibility of the armorer? There might not have been a need for live ammunitions on the set at all. Really what I think probably the crux of this issue was he willfully negligent. Was he notified? Was he on notice that all of these issues came up and then willfully disregarded those things and just decided anyways that he was going to carry forward, and that led to these injuries? Was this foreseeable? Was that likely, more likely than not, going to cause, and therefore was it foreseeable that it would cause these injuries? And that is what the jury is going to have to decide likely in this case. Check out this video here. True Crime with Lawyer Cliff continues.